Well, good morning. Tuesday, and I'm telling you what, if you don't get up early and get outside, you are missing what I think is probably the last two incredible days that we had. I haven't seen in a while. I'm talking really barely any humidity. The wind was just slight. I was watching the American United States flag, and I wanted to sing God Bless America this morning. It was right outside of my garage, and I was just watching it, and very, very peaceful before I went and headed off to work. Hopefully you saw the video from about an hour ago where I was announcing what we were going to be talking about today. We're going to empower women and men today. So thank you, by the way, for tuning in. It's the Real Monica Adams Show, brought to you by our friends at Invita Health and Wellness. And once again, we want to thank all of you that have been reaching out and letting us know that there are businesses out there that you either work for or maybe that you own and you think you would love for them to be a part of the show. Again, I am very selective on who guests are on my show as well as the sponsors. We want to make sure that they align with our mission. And what is that? To change the world, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. I should say all, not both, but all, mentally, physically, and spiritually, of how we can, as a community, come together. That's actually part of the show today. A community truly came together for this one man. He's a very good friend of mine. I met him years ago when I covered sports. I don't know if you know that, but I covered sports for about 12 years. Hockey, basketball, soccer, football, you name it. And he worked for one of the sports stations in town. Well, if you follow Brian McKenna's page, you'll know that in the past, I don't know how many years ago, he was diagnosed with skin cancer. It's the battle that he went through, the journey he went through, but more so, what he wanted to talk about today was the community. And he's like, Monica, he's like, you have an incredible community, as does he, because he's been doing his own positive, your vibe attracts the tribe, the whole aspect of positivity. That's why I walked away from television 6 months ago, is because I knew that the world was wanting more of this, more of the empowering tools to make your life better. We're going to empower women as well. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the organization Little Black Book Women of Business. Well, Angel Magasano, she's the brainchild behind that. She told me she started this in 2012. So we're talking over 10 years ago. They just had a phenomenal gala as well as the Bird Bash where I'm going to tell you all about what they do for the Marines and how you can get involved this year and how hopefully maybe women that are in business, maybe you'll want to be a part of this organization. So we have that for both men and women today. We'll, of course, also incorporate our 100 Days of Freedom. And yesterday I picked the yellow book. Today happens to be the purple book. I'm telling you, we're not doing this on purpose. It just happens. Purple and purple. 100 Days to Freedom. Today it's going to be from fear and anxiety. So we'll always wrap up with a devotional. That'll be nearing the end of the show. And then I have it hanging up on my wall. 100 Things to Do for Wellness. And yesterday it was about dancing. Did you get out and dance? I don't care if you're in the kitchen and you're cooking or whatever you're doing. I just want you to feel free, a free spirit all over again, to just move and stop worrying about what the world's thinking of you, right? It's little by little. Over the last almost 5 months now, we've been giving you tools to relax yourself, to stop putting so much pressure on yourself and stop trying to be so perfect. Remember, I say it over and over again. We are never going to reach that. Why? Because we are imperfect human beings. All we can ask is that you do your very best, right? If you think about the 4 agreements, that's one of the agreements. Always do your best, as well as really, stop thinking that everybody's thinking of this about you and that about you. When you walk in a room, they're judging you. They're not. Men and women both. And I know we always say women are notorious for that, but I know men do as well, that they'll sit there and they'll look at someone and think that they're judging them. They're not. Just calm down. Relax yourself. Relax your mind and your spirit. And again, take these tools. What's one of the biggest things I ask you to do? Journal. Somebody told me yesterday that they went back, looked at their journal from last year, and looked at how far they had come. And I said, yeah, but if you didn't write it down, you wouldn't remember the struggles, remember the strife, remember the angst and the fear and the anxiety, and look at how far you've come. Applaud yourself for that. Those are all the tools that you get on the show. All right, so we've got a big show on tap for you. 2 incredible guests. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, Angel Magasano will be my guest right here in the blue chair. Invita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Invita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Invita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Invita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online at VitaHealthAndWellness.com. And it is 7:05. Welcome back on a Tuesday. It is the Real Monica Adams Show. And if you're just tuning in, thank you. I'll be keeping an eye to the tablet. If you have any comments, I know there are a lot of you that watch my show that are part of Little Black Book, Women of Business. Why do I know that? Because you always tell me how great Angel is. And I said, you don't have to tell me. I've known her for years. I get that. But what I want you to do is to find empowerment in yourself. And that's really what I've watched in some of these women. I have had an opportunity to get to know a handful of you that are involved in this organization and heard from you of how it's really changed your life. And look, what Angel's doing, what we're doing on this show, that's what it's about. We want to get rid of that negativity. And I know it's out there in the world. It doesn't mean you have to give power to it. Understand that. So 2 incredible guests this hour. We're going to start with Angel, and then in the 7:30 half hour, do not go anywhere. You want to hear from Brian McKenna as well. I will say this. I know you're all busy and you have to get off to work, etc. If you do not forget to come back and watch this show on replay. That's the beautiful thing. We are on Facebook and YouTube. We stream live for you every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. And then we also have our audio podcast. So iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify. On Thursdays, we will drop a brand new show for you. Okay? So some great things to come. 7:06 in the morning. Let me bring on my guest, Angel. Thank you for coming in the blue chair.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
So you and I, well, actually, so when did I first meet you? Was it with Little Black Book?
It was,
was it
with Little Black Book,
Yeah.
but it was through Streetscape Magazine.
Yes.
Right. I was doing some article writing for Streetscape Magazine about women in business
Yep.
at the time, and that's how we first connected so long ago.
Yeah, and our dear friend Tom Hannigan, rest in peace, what an incredible man. And so we've done a lot of things together. We've done a golf tournament together when I was working with Ponybird. Thank you, by the way, for coming out and helping with that. So there's a lot of things that I've watched you do and empower women, but there are people that might not have ever heard of LBB, Little Black Book. So we were talking about 2012. Take me back to then.
Sure. In 2012, we started a grassroots organization, Little Black Book, Women in Business. And really, at the time, I was a business owner that came from the corporate world. So like you, I took the leap from corporate into entrepreneurship, and I didn't know what I didn't know. I was very good at marketing because I was a marketing professional, but I didn't know the other aspects of business building. So I started to just reach out to other women in my community who were business owners and ask them if they would share best practices with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really how it started. I could teach them marketing, they could teach me budgeting and finance, and we would go back and forth and just build that community.
Sure.
And little by little, it just started to branch out, and we just
boy did it.
It did.
Has many
it really,
leaves and branches.
It really, at this point, it does. But it started with one person, and it from there we've built this enormous community. But it has stayed true to its originations and its mission of connecting, inspiring, empowering, and sharing best practices so that we can elevate one another.
I love it. And again, when I talk about this show being for everyone, I talk about kids all the way up to seniors and men and women alike. It is the women that are getting involved in this, but the support system behind them to say, yes, go realize who you are, your true potential. I don't think I've ever asked you, so what were you doing before this? You said marketing?
I was in corporate marketing for years.
Okay.
So that's what my education and my corporate experience is, all in marketing.
Okay.
And I had made it to that level in the corporate world where the demands on my time were great.
Mm-hmm.
And I was traveling quite a bit, and they were paying me a lot of money to do so. Mm-hmm. And my family and my social life and my spiritual life were all suffering because of the dedication and the time that it was taking to just fulfill my obligation.
Sure.
And so there came a point when I finally realized that my family was becoming an inconvenience to me, that I just decided it's either the job or my family.
Yep.
And I chose the family and just quit cold turkey. It was a very scary thing to do.
Sure. I'm so glad you said that, because that's something. And look, she can continue to inspire me. We're all guilty of it. You know that I took this journey to,
Yes,
she's
I
like,
do.
yeah, Monica, you seem like you took on so much. My friends and family say, I think you took on more. I did, but I am fulfilling my passions inside. That's the difference. Instead of working for a corporation and getting up at 1:30 in the morning and going, and then it's 8 o'clock at night and you're like, I haven't seen my husband. My dogs don't know who I am anymore. I haven't
you're
seen
out
my
of
mom,
gas.
my friends. Yeah, absolutely. But it wasn't filling the spirit, though. So yes, I am doing a lot, but finding the break. Can I do better? Can we all do better? Absolutely. But what you just said, I'm hoping will empower more and more of you to understand that that balance of life that we all seek so much, you have to keep giving power to it and strength and saying, do it, and make people check. You can send me a text. I'm going to check you on this, Monica. Remember, Jim, the dogs, your mom, everybody, they need you. You need them to fill that. So you decide to walk away from, obviously, being taken away from your family and saying, there's got to be a change here.
Right.
But making the jump. And we talked about, empowering yourself to take that leap and being an entrepreneur. There have been many people that tune in and say, I'd love to do that, but it's the scariest thing in the world. We're not going to say it's not, right, Angel?
Oh, well, it's not easy.
Right.
It's not easy, and a lot of times it's not fun. But I think what you get from being an entrepreneur is, for me, it's freedom of time.
Right.
And money is a renewable resource, so the ability to craft my own path in that way and not be pigeonholed into somebody else's idea of what my value is very empowering and freeing.
Yeah.
And so taking that leap, it takes skill, right? And so that's what we're here for, because a lot of people have ideas or passion, but that doesn't translate into the ability to grow a business.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you grow the business, it has to translate into growing the profit.
Sure.
Because those who make the money make the difference,
Mm-hmm.
right? We've all heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm extremely charitable, and I lean into charity very hard. But without the financial stability behind me, I can't make an impact in that
Sure.
way.
Well, and so we'll talk again in this next 20 minutes about, speaking of charity-minded and philanthropic and wanting to give back, why was it the Marines that you chose from the beginning?
Before Little Black Book was established, my husband at the time and I had a holiday party, and we've always been very fortunate in that we were able to give our children a Christmas beyond their wildest dreams.
Mm-hmm.
They never suffered. We never went through that experience. And so we thought, we're lucky people and we're blessed people. So at the holiday party, when you come, will you please bring a toy? I'll take it down to the distribution center, and at least we can make an impact in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was before Little Black Book was established. And we probably took 40 toys down to the distribution center, and we were so happy because
Sure.
it filled an entire rolly bin full. And then the following year, Little Black Book was established as an organization. So I thought, we're going to take this to a bigger platform,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just going to leverage the women that we have engaged in our network to make a bigger impact on this charitable organization.
And boy, have they. Now look, I was asked by Angel to MC their event that they had in Wentzville. It was at a bar.
It was.
Right? And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And the Marines were out there, and it was quite an impact. We're talking 10, 11 years ago. And you had a lot that day. But oh my gosh, there's a train now.
Yes.
It is really a beautiful thing to watch at your gala, of everybody to come together. The amount that's been raised throughout the year, as well as the people that bring them right there and then. And you've got, how many did you have last year?
Last year we collected 20,000 toys.
20,000 toys for the Toys for
20,000
Tots.
So it did represent 36% of what is distributed here locally in our
Wow.
area. That's a huge impact.
You just gave me a chill.
Yeah.
You've got to be proud of that, Angel.
There's no knocking me off of that cloud. I mean, that is definitely something that's tombstone worthy, that is a huge impact. And there's nothing like waking up on Christmas morning and knowing that there are 20,000 children in my area that are going to wake up to a gift under the tree because of our collective efforts.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very special.
It absolutely. So 7:14. If you're just tuning in, let me reintroduce my guest, Angel Magasano. We're talking about Little Black Book, Women of Business, the Marines, the Toys for Tots, the incredible organization, and what these women have done. The women and the men, again, as well as the families, supporting what they're doing and how you might be able to get involved. So we'll talk about that. Also, as you are on, if you have any questions or comments, or if you have someone that is involved in Little Black Book, Women of Business, let me know, and I'll give some shout outs. Marilyn Westenberger says good morning.
Good morning, Marilyn.
Yes, look at you beautiful ladies. 2 powerhouse women empowering the world one day at a time.
That's sweet.
That's from Liz that we were just talking about. Liz with TPI.
Hi, Liz.
Connect, inspire, share best practices, and help lift each other up. Isn't that true? You know, so much, and I'll look at others, by the way, so many times women think of other women and they say, oh, women can be so catty. And
Yes.
I say, well, yes, but I don't look at that. I always look at the spirit inside of someone and think that they're lost. When that happens, don't you think they're insecure, they're jealous, you know, for whatever reason? We don't know what their walk was. We don't know the path they came from. We just want to hope that we can take them on this clear path that exists for them,
Right.
and this kind of organization of women empowering women and lifting each other up. Yes, it's hard. There's a lot of, you know, cackling, but we hope it's just laughter. That many times, and I talked about in the very beginning of the show, one of the 4 agreements is not to assume, right? Don't take things personally, because someone can walk in the room and a woman, I say this a lot, women will look at someone up and down and think, your hair looks incredible today, that color looks good on you, but you don't know what my thoughts are. And so women, because they're insecure a lot or they're jealous of something, they will think that they're judging. And so many times they've misread that, and that's unfortunate. So I'm trying to erase that and trying, if that exists, those aren't our people, right?
But that's right.
Yes.
Well, that's right. And so Little Black Book does attract a different type of woman.
Mm-hmm.
It is the type of woman who is, she's everyday extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
She is the woman who volunteers at school for her children, and she volunteers at church. She sits on boards of directors. She's the woman who's baking a casserole and taking it to a sick friend or neighbor. She is the woman who is running our community.
Mm-hmm.
She's running a business. She's running a home. She's involved in community. These women are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere. And one of the things that we do with Little Black Book, my own strategy is to meet the woman where they are. So women, like you say, someone may walk in and you may think, God, that person looks great.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, they're judging me, the look on their face, but you never know what's going on behind their eyes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So finding what that person's why is and meeting her where she is,
Mm-hmm.
finding out where she aspires to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then giving her the confidence, the knowledge, connecting her to the resources to get her to where she aspires to be.
Yep. And you have, okay, so we're talking about 2012 when this all came about. But at that point, it was just the beginning.
Right.
Did you see it kind of slowly progress and then all of a sudden just take off like a train?
Oh, let me tell you, it's called the hockey stick effect.
Okay.
Where it just is a flat line and then it just jumps. And so that I've experienced that.
Okay.
And I've experienced the hustle to CEO mentality, where in 2012 I was hustling. I got a lot of reaction from people, men and women both, who would either glaze over when I would talk about what I was doing, or they would give me an attitude of, oh, a women's group, that's cute, that's nice, good for you. So it took me 10 years to develop Little Black Book in 10 different communities. And this year alone, we're going to open in 5 communities.
Wow.
So it's taken
Look at
me
that growth.
12 months to accomplish half of what I accomplished over the past 10 years. And that's just a testimonial to the power of women supporting women.
Yep.
And other women being able to see it affect the personal and professional growth of the people who are engaged, and they want to be a part of that too. Being
Sure.
a part of something that's bigger than you, especially when you see the business growth and the philanthropy and the huge impact that we make on community, people want to be involved in that.
Absolutely. Well, it's interesting that you would say that, oh, it's a women's group, how cute. Yet, forever, I mean, generations ago, we know about the old boys clubs, and it was, oh, the men, right? It's
Right.
the men, the gentlemen's club. But it was always like, well, women are at home. No, women now are CEOs of companies and presidents of banks, and look how far we've come. Applaud that. I love when I was emceeing your event, I love to see the women get awards and be able to come up and see the tears in their eyes because they're so overwhelmed of the community that's behind them. We're talking a lot about community today, by the way. The community behind them, and again, not the cattiness, but the lifting up of the spirit of, way to go, girl.
That's right. And there's a real authenticity about that. when you can find joy in someone else's success, then you become a success. I mean, really, I take a lot of pride in you and your success, you know, and did I buy this studio for you and bring you to where you are? Of course not. But was I there in your path along the way to, you know, encourage you and lift you up and put you on a stage and let everybody see how marvelous you are? Yeah, I did that. So it's really fun to figure out the small and the big ways, but the small ways too that you've been able to impact other people's success.
And that's it. That's what we're talking about. So it's, you know, women, if you're hearing this and you have not heard of Little Black Book Women of Business before, you're hearing Angel talk about this and thinking, well, that's my community. That's what we want to find is, you know, I said before, don't give power to those that are not lifting up your spirit. There's no reason for that. And I really don't want you to go one more day. And I know I say this a lot and you think, okay, yeah, I'll get to it. No better time than right now to say, there's no more time for drama. Life is so short, Angel. We all know that from friends we've lost, family we've lost, that why would you want to be around that when something like this exists? So how would they get involved and what, like, so walk me through the whole process.
It's a membership-driven organization. There's tons of information online. Our URL is womenoflbb.com. And so we operate now in 13 cities across all of Northeast Missouri and Southern Illinois. And we are expanding. So if you think that this is something that would be good for your community and we don't currently host a chapter in that community, please go on to the website and let me know, reach out to me, because it is almost indescribable, the feeling that you get from being involved in a women's group where there is true, authentic support for you, your family, your business, and in the growth that you can see in yourself from year to year. It's like walking into a house and it's either for you or it's not. It's indescribable, the feeling.
And so again, you mentioned it's a membership driven. Is it an annual thing?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. And then it doesn't matter what, or does it matter what business they're involved in, or
no, not at all. So we are a women's organization,
okay,
and most women wear numerous hats.
Sure.
So we don't run by a model where you have to represent the business, because you have a business, you probably sit on a board of directors that you want to talk about. Maybe there's a nonprofit that you're engaged with that you want to talk about. We want to be able to support you, the whole woman, and build you up and get you to where you want to be.
Absolutely. And I know you have different events. I'm going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up with Angel. We'll mention some of the things that you have coming up.
Okay.
Of course, as we mentioned, Toys for Tots, the Marines, gathering up toys. Maybe you're going to want to do it now, or maybe you can make a donation to where they're going to be able to get some of those toys as they go into their next Burr Bash, which is in
December 16th.
Okay, good. So we'll give you all that information. We'll give you the website again of how you can get involved, and I'll see if you have any questions or comments for Angel when we return here on The Real Monica Adams Show.
Carroll House is now the contemporary furniture design center.
We now have the largest selection of the latest ultra-modern furniture.
Sleek European designs, unique metals, bold lacquers, plush fabrics, and retro styles.
Modern furnishings with exclusive collections only at Carroll House.
Plus free financing, free delivery and setup, and free in-home design.
Visit the St. Louis Center for Contemporary Design inside our 3.5-acre showrooms at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
You know, of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com. 314-567-5585. Welcome back, 7:24, and you've been tuned in, I hope, or if you're just tuning in, that's okay. You can always go back and watch the first 25 minutes that you may have missed. We've been talking with Angel Magasano, Little Black Book, Women in Business, and how you can get involved, the incredible, empowering organization that they are, and why don't you make it part of your community. We went into the break, Angel, and I mentioned that you have incredible events all year long, and then you have the big one coming up in December. So before December, though, before the Bird Bash, what other events are coming up here in the next few months?
We have events every single month. Since we operate in 13 different communities, we have events in each one of those communities every single month. We have a monthly luncheon that will invite all 13 communities to come together. So that's a huge networking opportunity for women who are in business. We bring an empowerment speaker so that not only do you make connections there, you can walk away with either a skill that you can employ in your business or just walk away with an empowerment message. And so anyone can opt into those events at any time. There's registration online. Let us know you're coming so we can meet you at the door.
Sure. Well, and then I'm sure you have your community, since there's so many communities involved, that they probably have breakout ones just in their community.
They do,
Then you have
every month.
bigger ones that come together, though?
Yep, we
what
sure do.
everybody does besides the Bird Bash?
Oh yeah, so we gather monthly for Ladies Who Lunch. And
Okay.
so,
I love it.
yes,
And
Ladies
you
Who
do
Lunch.
don't you do a wine also?
We do over the summer, so we just did our big annual wine trip called Girls Gone Wine. Again, that's a very casual, as you can expect, networking opportunity
Sure.
for women in business.
And, I have met a handful of the women that are involved in this organization, and I'm talking about, if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, I wonder if this is for me, oh, maybe I'm too young. No, there's a girl that I just outfitted for some custom work, and she's one of your younger, and then I've met, that runs the gamut, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, we, the age is not relevant. Our
No.
youngest member is 23. Our oldest member is 71.
Love it.
So we, if you are looking to be involved with other women and support them, this is a good place.
Yep. And then somebody had said that they enjoyed that. That was the first time that she ever got introduced to you. Sherry, she was with us. So we had a great table that was able to be introduced to the organization. And she said, we had so much fun at the Bash event in the winter. And hopefully you'll be back as well. Angel is awesome, Rose says. So very proud
Thank you,
of
Rose.
Angel, and LBB is strong and amazing. Let's see, we've had several women's groups in our county over the years, but Angel has managed to sustain, foster, and expand what many women before her have not succeeded. So excited for you.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Very
See?
flattering.
It's all about lifting women up. Okay, one more time. So for those that want to get involved, can you give them all the information?
Sure, absolutely. Get involved. Womenoflbb.com is where you get started. If you're in a position to opt into one of our existing chapters in a community around the region, please do. Come and visit. Just come and get a feel for what it is that we're doing. If we're not operating in your area, talk to me. Let's figure out how we can support women
Sure.
in your area.
What is your biggest chapter? Is it the St. Louis County?
My biggest chapter at the moment is St. Charles.
St. Charles.
St. Charles, Missouri.
Huh?
Yep, and that is followed by West St. Louis County.
Wow. Okay. See, you women are taking over.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Angel, thank you for taking some time early in the morning to spread the word about kindness, again, giving back, lifting women up. I told you this was going to be a very empowering hour for both women and for men alike, and that's what we want. So remember, you've got some very strong women that are involved in your family, and maybe their heart is seeking something else. I've got a woman right now that I've been life coaching since January, but I've life coached her in the class that I do on Thursday nights. We broke out more personally, and it was interesting. She's a real estate agent, and she said, but there's something inside of me, right? So ignite that passion. Don't let the flame out. Understand that maybe you do want more, and maybe I was thinking that maybe this is an organization you might want to be a part of, because you'll see what other women have done, and maybe that will be the thing that will keep that flame.
And let us help. Let
Yeah.
us help you bring that flame to the front.
Right, absolutely. I can't. So by the way, she hasn't been able to put it on yet, but we have a jacket that we made after.
Oh, I did put it on.
Oh, you did?
It fits like a glove. It's wonderful.
Oh, I've got to see. I got to get a
didn't
picture.
clash, I would have worn it in.
We need to grab it. All right, we're going to show it really quick. Inside of it, it has the LBB lining. I'm going to ask really quick. George, can you have Brian bring it in for me? I know he's listening, obviously. Okay, we've got to show this to everybody, because when she first came in, it's the exact reaction of why I do what I do. That one hat that I wear, the inside lining, she wanted to have. Here, I'm going to get up real quick. So Brian's going to be with us in just a second. Brian McKenna, who many of you might know, he's a phenomenal media personality, was involved in sports for a long, long time. But this we made for Angel at one of the places that I work. We do custom work. So show them the inside lining of that.
Beautiful. So
LBB.
it's
So
the
incredible.
logo of my business that's been custom sewn into the lining of this beautiful custom jacket.
I'm so glad that you put it on already. Now we've got to get a picture of you in it. That's the whole thing, though, is when someone puts a custom jacket, slacks, whatever on, and you have a woman who is in your organization, Shannon Norman. She was like, "Oh my God! Now I understand why people do custom." She's like, "It fits like it was made
Like
for me."
a
I'm like,
glove.
"Well, it was made for you." Angel, thank you. I'm so glad you love it. I just wanted to show you.
Thank
yeah, look,
you.
look there. You can see a little bit better. LBB. How proud are we that we were able to deliver? See, and make that beautiful face smile. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
You know I will
My
see
pleasure.
you very, very soon. So again,
Yes, ma'am.
December 16th, mark it on your calendar. That is the Burr Bash. We want you to get involved, and we want to see over 20,000. Do you have a goal
We
of
can
what
do
you
it.
want?
20,000's the goal, but
Okay.
I know we can exceed that.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, everyone, stick around. We're going to continue to empower you. We're going to tell you how when a community comes together, just like this, boy, can you change the world. We're going to tell you how it changed one man's life. Brian McKenna will be in my seat when we return.
Carroll House is now the contemporary furniture design center.
We now have the largest selection of the latest ultra-modern furniture.
Sleek European designs, unique metals, bold lacquers, plush fabrics, and retro styles.
Modern furnishings with exclusive collections only at Carroll House.
Plus free financing, free delivery and setup, and free in-home design.
Visit the St. Louis Center for Contemporary Design inside our 3.5-acre showrooms at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
You know, of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com. 314-567-5585. Welcome back, 7:32, and it is the Real Monica Adams Show, brought to you by our friends at Invita Health and Wellness, and thank you to all of our sponsors. They're incredible. We couldn't do this show without them, and more importantly, without you watching each and every day. Boy, I cannot believe we've been doing this since March 1st, and wow, how the community has grown. In fact, at one point, we looked at our analytics, and we hit 1 million reach in just a handful of months, which just, there it is again. It gives me chills because why? I know that God guided me on the right path to this mission, and that is to change the world. We don't need drama. We don't need negativity. We need to lift each other up. We just talked about women, empowering women. Now we're going to talk about a community and how they changed this friend of mine's life. Hello, my dear friend.
Hello.
I
How
love
are
you.
you?
I have not seen him. It's
I
been
know,
too
it's
long.
been too long.
We've been talking about going to Pueblo Solis and having
Yes.
margaritas.
Let's do this.
Yes.
Get
Let's
Jim on this, okay?
Let's finally make this happen. So if you don't know this man, let me tell you what, you've missed out on some of the most incredible humor of your life. You make me and Jim laugh on a daily basis. I mean, you have to be the quickest witted person I've ever met in my life.
I'm bored. I got a lot of time. Just a lot of time to make stuff up.
You're up at Club Nick.
Yes.
You have to follow him after the show. Trust me, you got to follow on Facebook. Are you on Instagram also?
Instagram as well, yeah. And it's just Brian McKenna.
Okay, Brian McKenna. So look out for Brian for sure. You and I met, I don't even know how many years ago, but is when I used to cover sports.
Yes.
And you were working for, was it KFNS?
One of the stations I was fired from, let's see, I think it was 590, the fan.
Yes. So I used to cover the Blues and the Rams and the Cardinals, and that's where he and I first met and loved listening to him. Such an incredible broadcaster, first and foremost, but more so it was the heart of gold that I knew that he had, and that's, like-minded energies
Absolutely.
are drawn to each other. So you worked in the business for how many years?
23 or 24 years.
23 or 24.
Yes.
Do you miss it?
I don't miss covering sports every day because it was just so, you get up, you show prep, as you well know, then you do the show, and then you get some time off, but then you had to watch a game every night. And I know some people say, oh, wow, how tough, but
Gotta watch
it's a
sports.
long day, but I love doing it, but no, I do not miss
Yep,
it.
yep.
I love doing stuff like this, and
Yes.
congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. And you as well. I mean, that's the thing. So Brian and I both walked away from organized broadcasting, but knowing that this is where our talent was, that we had a following, that people enjoy what we're providing to them. But then you in your mind and in your heart and your spirit, you say, but I want to do it this way.
Yes.
I'm going to go out and do it on my own, which
Right.
you have done.
Yes.
Okay, so talk a little bit about that, and we're going to talk about
Well,
your journey.
like I said, Brian McKenna on Facebook and Instagram, and my motto in life is your vibe attracts your tribe. And so I'm doing business videos, but I'm also just trying to. It's a St. Louis thing.
Yep.
But I just find funny stories, good stories. I try to make people laugh. I always say my page is like a Julia Roberts movie. You laugh, you cry, and hopefully there's a good ending.
Yes.
Can I
like
just
that.
say this?
Yes.
The purple today, okay?
But you liked the yellow
purple.
yesterday.
The yellow yesterday. My one of my great friends and next door neighbor Babs, who's 85 years old, she's from Boston, is your biggest fan.
Oh, yeah?
And she told me I better have my fashion game ready. So I went by her place. She lives right next door, and I went outside the window
She
and I
put
said,
this together?
No, I go,
Oh.
Babs, what do you
Oh,
think?
look at the suspenders.
And
I
oh no,
love it.
I had to wear the suspenders because I couldn't find a belt to match. I've never been so nervous doing TV or podcast because I knew that you were going to look like this, and I'm like, all right, I better wear my summer suit.
My
And
zipper is undone here.
But yes,
let's-
you noticed-
Let's be real.
I have my St. Pants suspenders on because I couldn't find a belt to
I
match.
love the Irish connection. I have Irish in me as well. So, no, I love that. And Babs, I was just going to actually ask you about Babs because those are the videos I've been watching. The two of you, and this is what I love. I mean, they're humorous together, but here's the thing you all have to understand. I always say get out of your own way. Get out of your own way and understand that there's so many people of all ages waiting there for you. Can we say how young Babs is?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Babs is 85 years young.
Like, that's my mother's age.
And I
so-
always tell her if she was 6 months younger, I would have married her.
I know, right? Her energy and her spirit and your energy is actually together. I absolutely love. You two, you didn't have the easiest beginning, right?
No. I had a friend who lived downstairs from me, and we partied like rock stars.
Yes.
And Babs moved from Boston, and she came out second night she was there. She came out and lit us up at 11 o'clock. And then we sat down, and the three of us established partying rules.
I love boundaries.
So we had to be done by 11 o'clock during the week and 1 o'clock on weekends.
I love, and then all of a sudden there's some beautiful, because there's respect there, admiration, and this wonderful friendship that started. As you said, though, so you are in that. What areas are you?
St. Louis Hills, on
St. Louis
Francis
Hills.
Park,
Yes. Francis Park. Thank you, Francis Park. And so there's a lot of things, and everyone around there knows who Brian is. When we talk about the community coming out for you, so those who don't follow Brian has gone through one hell of a journey. I'm just going to say that. No easy way around it. I'm just going to put it out there. But the community came out for you, well, from the very beginning, but big time when there was this big parade that we were all a part of. Let's go back to the journey for those that don't know. You were diagnosed how long ago?
First time 2014 with malignant melanoma.
Okay.
And first of all, everyone get checked. Go to your dermatologist once or twice a year, get checked. I only went because my girlfriend at that point found a spot right under here, and she was a nurse. And she said,
Yes. Brian, people need to understand this. What did it look like? What did it feel like?
It just looked like just a bigger zit that was a different
see?
color. I mean, the word zit, but I
No,
don't
but
know.
that's
Okay, careful
absolutely,
zit.
yeah.
And she said, that's suspicious. And I said, that's okay. I'll go in October. And she said, and this was actually April of 2014. She said, no, I'm making an appointment for you today. And I went in, they did a biopsy, and then got a call from the doctor, you need to come in tomorrow. Went in, and it was just like, I sat down, and I knew when we didn't go into a room, we went into his office, and he pulls up his laptop, which is on a rolling table, and I looked ahead and saw malignant melanoma. Before he even told me, I saw the words, and I just got chills.
Yeah.
Chills. So, at first you're stunned and all that, and then
Sure.
I just decided early in the journey that, okay, why do I have this? What's going on? And I went, okay, everything's going to be okay. And everything turned out okay. But then in 2017, I was diagnosed again with, I had a big spot right here, actually. And it, I thought it was just probably, I became an expert, by the way, when it came to diagnosing cancer and stuff.
Just Google Brian McKenna, don't do WebMD. He'll be like, I got it for you.
Yes. But anyway, it turned out it was a very aggressive, infiltrating, rare form of basal cell carcinoma that was wrapping itself around nerves in my face and heading towards my brain.
Wow.
So, I can't get into this,
Right.
but there was a local doctor that made some pretty gnarly mistakes on me, and the doctors at BJC and WashU stepped in, and Dr. Allison Schneider-Warwick, Dr. McKenna, Dr. Ogden, Dr. Stephen Couch stepped in, and I had about 7 or 8 surgeries. The last one was a 9-hour surgery where they had to take dead tendons out and rewire my face, and they put Humpty Dumpty's face back together again. So it was incredible.
It has, and so one of the things that I have watched on you is, yes, you have this incredible humor. You always had. You have a kind spirit, and what you want to give back to people. Again, the vibe attracts your tribe. What you give back and what the community gives to you. Obviously, what you've been through physically dampened, if it tries to, your spirit,
Yes.
your mind. You go through.
I'm human.
Yes, you go through dark times, depressed times.
Yes.
Mental health is a big, big part of this show. We're not going to say that it's all puppies and rainbows and
Right.
he's doing great. You have your up and down, but your spirit remains so strong because of your community.
Absolutely. And let me just first start out. I kind of asked God, if not the first time, the second time, okay, what's the meaning behind this? Because this is a part of my journey. And I truly believed, he said, you're going to do good things with this. And I put it on your face to make it visible. And I honestly believe that. So I was going out in public when, I had almost 400 stitches. They took part of my ear in that. And I just wanted people to know that from day one, I decided I had a choice. I could be the bug or the windshield. I'm going to be the windshield. I can be the victim or the victor. I decided to be the victor. And I said, I can have a pity party. And by the way, you are allowed pity parties, folks.
Absolutely.
You just can't reside permanently in Pity City.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I just decided I can either say, why me, or I can say, try me. And I decided to make the story public because I wanted people to know, whatever you're going through in life, I've been through depression, whatever you're going through in life, just reach out to others.
Yes.
And because there's a lot of kind people out there. I know you watch the news now, you don't think so, but there's a lot of kind people out there.
Brian, we tell them not to watch the news anymore.
No, you're
because
right.
it doesn't serve you.
It doesn't.
It's why I left. I mean, I think I finally got that aha moment, and it's like, why would you want to wake up and turn the news on and hear nothing but drama, negativity, homicide, stabbings, shootings? Wow, that hurts your spirit immediately. Instead, that's why we do what we do. You're doing your Brian and Babs show.
It's on Thursdays on my channel. Babs is 85. She's from Boston. She's wicked tough. But we decided about 2 months ago, we were talking about we're going to quit watching a lot of news. And we did. And we both, about 2 weeks later, I said, man, my spirit's better. I mean,
absolutely.
And so I said, do you want to do a show? And she goes, what do you mean? I said, the Brian and Babs show. She goes, what's it about? It's almost like Seinfeld. I said, I don't know. We're just going to sit down. It's a show about nothing. But she's a fashionista, so she like will send me a text on Thursday morning, come over, I'm wearing this.
Yep.
And
we got to blend.
Yeah, and we just tell stories. And let me tell you something. You can learn a lot from a woman like Babs. A lot about life and kindness and struggles. And it's I love
your
it.
chairs, by the way. They remind me of this chair.
Yeah, that's her place.
her
That's
place.
not my place.
It's gorgeous. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk more about this journey, this community. I told you a little bit about that parade and just where Brian is today and how God has guided him to want to give back to the world. Again, I love that. Why me, try me. I when I had my blood clot and was taken in a different direction, it was all about, well, why not me? What does God want me to do? Put me on the stage and let me help change the world. Because people always say, can one person really make an impact? Yes. I mean, Angel just talked about Brian.
Can I say one thing before you go to break?
Yes.
Your good friend and my good friend, Jamie Muslim. Okay? Jamie didn't realize it, but when he shared his brain tumor with the community, because he has such a large following, I knew Jamie then, but I followed him. And by him doing that, he gave me strength. I would always look back and say, Jamie got through this, I can get through this. I love when I saw him on your show recently.
I love it. See, Jamie? And everybody, it's again, tell your story. Don't be afraid. Don't suppress it down because you never realize what getting it out And I know it's hard sometimes. We talked about, going through the dark times, but getting it out, suddenly other people go, oh, that is me. He's talking to my spirit. Yes, we're going to talk more, so don't go anywhere. Brian McKenna on The Real Monica Adams Show.
Carroll House is now the contemporary furniture design center.
We now have the largest selection of the latest ultra-modern furniture.
Sleek European designs, unique metals, bold lacquers, plush fabrics, and retro styles.
Modern furnishings with exclusive collections only at Carroll House.
Plus free financing, free delivery and setup, and free in-home design.
Visit the St. Louis Center for Contemporary Design inside our 3.5-acre showrooms at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
Of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com. 314-567-5585. 7:45 and welcome back. It's the Real Monica Adams Show. Always keeping an eye to the comments. And someone said, I met him through friends at Pueblo Solis. I think he lives there. Yes, I think so too. He's an awesome individual. You got that right. That's from Rose. Everyone's just saying good morning. Good morning. If you have any aha moments or any comments or any inspiration that you get from Brian, just please let us know. Brian McKenna, again, is in the blue chair, and we're talking about his journey. He's told you about what he's been through, but it's always we go through and we come out as better individuals if we allow our heart and our mind and our spirits to open up, which you did. As you said, you've gone through some hard times, but the community has come out for you, has shown up for you, as you have for them. How many years ago has it been now that parade took place?
That was May of 2020.
Oh my gosh, it's been 3 years already?
Yes.
So I remember the word was going around about this, and I told my husband, I said, we're there, and he goes, absolutely. And he didn't even really know you at that point, not really.
Yeah, I had met Jim just a few times,
Yep.
but never had a chance to sit down and
Right.
talk with him.
Right, but he fell in love when he's not even on social media, so he always will go, what's Brian up to? And I'm like, well, hang on, let me go to Brian's page and read some of this, and he'll just laugh so hard. He takes those stories back to the police department, tells those stories, they all crack up together. So he and I, as well as, I don't even know, do you know how many people came out that day?
Well, according to some of the people who put it on, and thank you, Stephanie Bozich, who started all of this, my good friend Stephanie, but if the numbers are correct, they said almost 500 cars.
Oh, absolutely.
On a Sunday, a rainy Sunday.
Rainy, that's right, it was
during
rainy.
the beginning of COVID, when people
Yep,
really
yep.
didn't, we're going, should we go out today? There were plenty of people wearing masks, but yeah. And this was a surprise. I had no idea what was going on.
That's what I love, and I was like, how did this get out to 500 cars without him knowing? I was, because we all asked, are you sure he didn't know? You could see the look on your face. You had no idea.
So I made a bet with my friend Stephanie and a couple of my other friends. They said, you can't get off social media for a week. And I said, yes, I can. And they said, no, you can't. I said, okay, let's make a bet. What's the deal? So Stephanie said, I'll buy you a round trip plane ticket to San Clemente, where my one buddy lives, and I love surfing. Mm-hmm. And then I could take the train down the coast. Another buddy lives in Malibu. So I said, Steph, here are my passwords. She took all my passwords. And actually, you know what? I miss social media, but it was nice to take a week's break.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to be nosy, but I stuck to it. So that Sunday morning, my buddy Ted called me and said, hey, do you want to, we usually run the park. Uh-huh. And he said, do you want to go for a walk? Uh-huh. And I thought he just needed to talk or something.
Right.
So instead of going around Francis Park, we both lived on the park. He started taking me, he goes, I want to show you where I used to live in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. He had his own house. And I said, okay. And I'm like, this is just really weird. And his phone kept going. He kept, I got a text. It's Nikki, my girlfriend. It's my girlfriend. And so we walked out of my backyard, and I heard music, and I see a bunch of people out there. I didn't know. Still didn't even know it was for me. I thought it was. You know how they were putting on graduation parades and all that.
Yes,
I
because
thought
of during COVID.
yes, and we live on Francis Park, so a lot of the parades would go right by me, and I was like, "Whoa, man,
That's a big one."
This kid must be cool."
Very cool kid.
And I came around that corner, and I mean, I was stunned at first, and I saw. Some of the news stations there. I saw Steph. I saw Todd Thomas. Of course, everybody knows Todd Thomas.
That
Todd,
one guy?
Yeah, that one guy playing music. And I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, I saw Joe Koenig and Kim Koenig and Steve Hunsinger, friends of mine. I played soccer against Steve and Joe in high school, and Joe's now the president of Worldwide Technology. I saw them there, and I was like, okay, something's up.
Yep.
Something's going on. And believe it or not, that's not even the best moment of my life. Oprah. I had my mom
Well,
on Oprah. I mean, come on.
I know. That was
Mom,
huge.
you're still first.
Yeah, by the way, if you don't know the McKenna family, you have how many siblings?
We have 10 kids in the family. And if you count my nieces and nephews and their kids, we just had our 82nd.
80s. And your mom's beautiful.
God bless her.
Inside and out. I love that. That picture you had up forever. How many years ago was Oprah?
It was 2000 and right before 9/11. I do remember that.
And he wrote the letter to Oprah. That was from a Mother's Day segment.
Valentine's
wasn't it? Oh,
Day.
Valentine. That's right. Valentine's segment. And yes, I mean, how incredible was that? I love what you did for her. I mean, it's the same kind of thing, right? It's that kindness. I'm glad that Oprah grabbed onto that
Yes.
and wanted you to be a part of it, and how you were able to change. I mean, your mother was everything to you.
My mom and dad, my family, and my friends are my currency.
Yep.
And my parents, I was lucky. With 10 kids, we never had any money.
Yep.
We were rich in love, and my parents always taught us act upon the needs of others. Don't wait till somebody has cancer to get involved with fundraisers.
Amen.
And that. One of the greatest decisions I ever made, I volunteer up the street at Nottingham High School. And it's a high school at the top of the hill at Francis Park. A lot of people didn't know what it is. It's a school for developmentally disabled kids, 14 to 21, and it's Nottingham High School CAJT, and the CAJT stands for Career Advancements Job Training, and they teach kids simple tasks such as doing the laundry and stuff like that. And my buddy asked me if I wanted to volunteer. I went up there, and I just started playing ping pong, basketball. Then I ended up in the dance room.
Of course, he's always dancing.
And now the entire neighborhood. We raise money for the school. We do a prom suit drive for them. And our community has now, the St. Louis Hills community has now joined together with Nottingham High School.
I love that.
It's just so cool. But that's just, we just got to let people know stuff's out there.
Well, and that's what you're doing, by the way. So if you follow Brian, besides getting these hilarious stories that he does and seeing the tribe that he is attracting, you are doing the show with Babs every Thursday, but you're doing these business spotlights as well.
Yeah, and the business spotlights, it's just, I don't have interviews. It's like you. These aren't interviews. These are conversations. They're such... for the people who aren't in media or haven't been in media, there's a huge difference between an interview and a conversation. And just business owners, we just sit down and we don't just talk about the business. I want to know about, the stupid question, where'd you go to high school? Tell me about your family, your upbringing. Why did you do this business? And everyone has a great story to tell. Everyone.
Well, they do. And I think you're very similar to me, which is why we get along so well, Brian. I said in the beginning of the show, that I'm very selective on who my guests will be, and I'm very selective on who my sponsors will be, because we have integrity.
Absolutely.
Right? You want the mission to align. There are people that could come and say, oh, Brian, I want you to spotlight me, and it'd be like, well, I don't know. I haven't heard the best things about this person. Maybe we can change who they are. Not trying to change people unless you want to, if you're ready for that journey. But it is really, at this point in our lives, it's no drama. Life's too short.
Amen.
You get that.
Amen.
Life is way too short, and it's just, let's provide kindness, and let's stop the cattiness. Let's stop the backstabbing, the insecurities, the jealousies, the drama, all that. There's no room for that. So if you follow me and follow Brian, you'll have much more of humor. It will go up and down.
Yes.
There's a reason why, even though it's cute, isn't it? This is actually from Maryland. These are, and just in case we cried today.
Okay.
That's a
And I'm a
tissue
crier.
box.
I come from a family of criers. I cried on Oprah, so I have no problem crying. No, but life.
It's good to get the emotions out.
Life. I love surfing. Okay, but life. There's a lot of similarities between life and surfing. Okay, Every wave's different. The conditions are different every single day. Some rides are fantastic. Some rides you fall off, but what do? You get back up and you try it again. So, and I did fall when I was in Malibu and almost died and ended up in the hospital. I know.
I'm like, God, this guy has been through a lot. How many lives do you have? You're that kitty cat.
It was the last wave of the day, and my buddy, God bless him, he lives on the beach in Malibu, and his neighbors are Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan and Ray Romano.
What a combo.
And so this was the first day I was there. I was in San Clemente for 8 days surfing. Then I went there. The first day, the last wave of the day, I was out there almost by myself, and I went headfirst in a rock, was knocked out, had to go to the hospital, and I had to come back to St. Louis.
This story is incredible. I'm like, this guy cannot catch a break.
Well, you know what? I'm going back out there this fall.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to look for that rock. I'll tell you that.
He'll sign it. Oh, it was you. Oh, you did it. You also were a big soccer player, you mentioned.
Yeah, played high school soccer. No, you know what I do is I love to exercise like you, you know. So instead of I got tired of just running. I really did. It was just, and it's not really good on your knees and that. Even though I like the way I feel afterward.
Right.
So I take my soccer ball around Francis Park and I play soccer golf by myself. I pick out trees. And then they're all par threes, and then I kick it, and then I sprint to the next hole, and that's how I get my cardio in around the park. And I know people think I'm weird.
No, not at all.
Okay, I always tell them I'm not weird. I'm just wired differently.
Yes.
There's difference.
I love how you're wired, my friend. I love the thread in this man. You also, for those that don't follow him, tell us about Club Mick.
Well, Club Mick is my balcony. I have the only balcony on Francis Park, and a lot of people come by and they see my balcony. And I have Manny's up there. All right, now they're all going to think I'm so weird.
No.
So I have an MMA dummy. I do kicking and striking and stuff like that. And so when I was diagnosed with cancer, I couldn't do it for a while. So I used to do it in the backyard, and I put Manny on the balcony so he wouldn't be out in the backyard. And the kids in the neighborhood said, they call me Brian. They don't call me Mr. McKenna. They call me Brian. They're like, Brian, can we put our soccer uniform, the St. Gabe's kids? We have a game Saturday. So I did that. And now it's led to charities because so many people walk around Francis Park every day. Susan G. Coleman. Charities in town will just, Missouri Burn Camp just sent me some. Manny I had to get rid of part of the clothes in my closet because he has so many shirts. But it's just so cool.
Why Manny, by the way?
Well, because he's a mannequin. His actual name in the MMA industry, and by the way, I don't fight MMA. I love striking and kicking and all. I've done some jiu-jitsu, but when you say MMA, it's like golfing, all right? You can say I'm a golfer. That doesn't mean you're good.
Exactly.
But Manny, because he's a mannequin. Okay. And the kids now walking to school, and one of the greatest things about where I live is I can hear the kids chatter every morning. And so I sit on my balcony, you just hear the kids giggling and chattering. How can you not start the day out like, let's do this?
Yes.
But the kids are like, hey, Manny. Manny has been in the St. Gabe's Follies. They could borrow them for the Follies. So, but people are always coming by, always wave. They know who I am. They know who Babs is. And you and Jim are invited anytime. George, you're invited too.
We might need to do the Real Monica Adams show with the Brian and Babs show from that balcony.
Anytime.
That would be a fun show.
You would love it.
Seriously,
it's a great view too.
Can we have margaritas up there from Pueblo?
Absolutely. I'll get us some the best guacamole in St. Louis. Get the margaritas.
You all have heard me say, if you follow me, that is my favorite Mexican place, by the way. And so when
Al Solis told me to tell you.
Okay. Well, we have not.
Al's
been
the
in.
owner.
Jim actually asked a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, "We need to go," and we didn't make it that day, so we have to. You also regularly see my cousin Glenn there, who you have become friends with. I was with
Glenn 2 nights ago.
Oh, of course you were. See, so is it true? Do you live there?
Yes. Any day ends in white. No, I'm a single guy, and I'm a horrible cook.
And he wants to, by the way. So Jennifer Aniston is waiting for you.
Jen, come on! You're trying all these Hollywood types.
Okay, look into this camera right here. Okay. And what do you want to say to Jen?
Jen, you just haven't found the right guy yet. All right? I'm a good guy. I come from a family of 10. I'll brush your hair at 3 in the morning if that makes you happy. Okay? Who's brushed your hair at 3 in the morning? Jen.
Oh my God. I don't know why Jen would not reach out after that, right?
Her loss.
I agree. My friend, I love you so much.
Love
we
you
are
back.
making this happen.
Yes.
We're going to come up because I've never been up to the balcony. I've never been to Club Mick. And this is the one thing that I always stress to people. When you say you're going to do something, you've got to do it. Because
Amen.
life is too short. We have been saying it. We have tried. It's not
Yes.
that we haven't tried. Brian's got a busy life. I've got a busy life. But we do have to slow down that balance of life that we need for those that
Amen.
we connect to. Promise?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
You want to join us? That would be one heck of a day, everybody. Just
Everyone, you're all invited to a Club Mick.
we're going to pack it. I don't know what their fire capacity
Well,
is.
we have so many on the balcony, but then there's that field in the park right across it.
Oh, this is
Actually,
true.
to be honest with you, somebody wants us to put together a Brian and Babs live show from the balcony, and they could watch from Francis Park.
Yes.
And then my friend Tara's Trio, we were thinking about having the band in the fall and doing that. But we could do a special show.
Let's do it.
Okay.
No, I'm serious.
I am totally serious.
Okay, you're going to let me know. Let's pick a date, and then we will let all of
Okay.
you know that follow me, all that follow Brian. We will make this one heck
Yes.
of a show.
And can I just congratulate you on the success? From a fellow former media member, I was so glad when you were getting out of the media. Some of you people will not understand that,
Yep.
but I was so glad. And then you started this, and what are you, 4 months in right now?
Yeah, it's coming up on 5, I guess.
And over 1 million.
We had 1 million reach. I mean,
That-
that is, everybody understand that is
Yes.
a combination of so many things. It's the show, it's the community,
Yes.
it's the volunteerism, it's going out and emceeing for a nonprofit organization. It's the pictures of my mom and myself. You know,
Which
that
I just
combination.
love.
She's incredible, isn't she?
By the way, George asked me to straighten your dad's picture during the commercial break. He's like,
But there's a glare on Dad.
well,
now.
that's what he took. It was faced that way, and I
There's
turned
still
it.
a glare,
okay,
though.
There's
Look.
still a glare.
There was a glare on
George,
us.
I just did what you told me. Okay. Not your. I'm
Look,
not.
you want to know why I call it the Real Monica Adams? Because we have got to be more real in life and authentic.
I'll show up every morning at 7 as a paid prop person if you need me to.
We need money. We need money. We need money from the right sponsors.
Yes.
For the people who align with us. All right. We're making this happen. You heard it right here.
Yep.
We're going to make this show happen. But the very first thing, because I know Jim wants to do it, we're going over to People's
Absolutely.
Release. All right.
Done deal.
It's a done deal. I love you.
All right. Love you.
And thank you for all the humor that you provide, and just thank you for your support.
Well, and thank you for being one of St. Louis's greatest ambassadors. You have donated your time to so many charities throughout the years and helped so many people. And it is an honor to be a part of your tribe.
I love you. I
Love ya.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to wrap everything up. As promised, 100 Days to Freedom. We've got to get you away from shaming yourself. The fear and anxiety, though, is the one that picked itself today. That and what is on the 100 Things to Do for Well-Being, well, we'll find out as we wrap up The Real Monica Adams Show.
Warm weather, sand beaches, and boats galore. It's not Florida, it's a Lake of the Ozarks. Florida Direct Palm Trees brings tropical flair to your patios, docks, and yards. From a few feet all the way to 25 feet, there are palm trees for every property. Florida Direct also provides palm tree potting soil, palm fertilizer, large decorative pots, and a wide selection of locally grown tropical flowers and plants to add the perfect accent to your tropical paradise. Florida Direct Palm Trees, bringing paradise to your patio for 14 plus years.
All right, it is 8:01, and as we wrap things up, we always promise to give you some tools that will help you along with your journey. 100 Days to Freedom, and today it has to do with fear and anxiety. The strength for today is what it's titled. This is my command: be strong and be courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. This is actually from Joshua 1, verse 9. So you think about it. Sometimes in life we need a little nudge, a hand to hold, a shoulder to lean on. Worrying about a situation or relationship can dominate our thoughts and weaken our very heart. We ruminate over questions. How will things ever get better? Why did this happen? You just heard Brian say, he could very easily say, why? Instead he said, try me. But many would say, why did this happen? What can we do to fix it? Sometimes our thoughts and our worries make us feel like we are actually doing something, right? Have we asked the Lord about the things that weigh on our minds? Many times, the challenges in our lives that consume our thoughts prevent us from reaching out to God and to others for strength. We need to connect with God by sharing our hearts in prayer and reading the Word, as well as connecting with a trusted loved one who will share that burden. One reason that we resist asking for help from others, though, is, we feel like nothing will help, or there are no cures out there, or nobody cares. These are lies, though, to be challenged. Whatever struggle you're carrying, know that God will provide strength. He will provide the courage for you and an abiding presence. And also people who will be your support will be there for you. Ask God today for what you need and know He will be faithful to provide. His strength is perfect when our strength is gone. He'll carry us when we can't carry on. Raised in His power, the weak become strong. No one enjoys feeling weak, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, physically. Look, it's everything we talk about. There's something within the human spirit, though, that wants to resist the thought of weakness. Many times this is nothing more than our human pride at work. Just as weakness carries a great potential for strength, pride carries an equally great potential for defeat. Today's prayer: Lord Jesus, I bring you my troubles today, knowing that you will provide strength for this day and courage to do what I can. Thank you for the people you have brought into my life to help me along the way, help you along that path. Amen to that. Again, every day, giving you different tools to help you along your journey. And one of the tools, just to have fun with, by the way, these are available. A lot of people have been asking me, where can they get these so they can hang it? I actually have this that we just got. You can hang it up. It's a little magnetic thing that you can put on. You can have it. I've got it right over here on the wall that I chose for you. So today, it is remove toxic relationships from your life. Boy, isn't that true? Yesterday was to go dancing. Today, remove the toxicity that is not serving you. 100 things to do for well-being. Wasn't it a great show? Two incredible, empowering people today. Angel Magasano and Brian McKenna, thank you once again for being a part of this show. For all of you, again, remember, have hope. I want you to ignite the spirit inside of you, the passion inside of you. Don't just go through one more day just going through the motions. You have so much to provide to the world, and let the world provide to you. But find your tribe. Your tribe exists. But many times you've got to get rid of the clutter that is in the path and in your way to find out that there's so many incredible people waiting for you on a clearer path. Thank you all for the blessings you bestow upon me each and every day. I love you all. Tomorrow we'll be mobile, and in about 2 hours we're going out to do a really fun Mobile Monica. Shark Week is coming up, so we're heading over to the aquarium at Union Station. We're going to have some fun with that, and we'll let you know what you'll be able to do during Shark Week. So a lot to come. We are going to be together for months and years. As long as you're here, I'm here for you. Thank you to the community. All right? Go out, enjoy, and remember, in a world where you can be anything, first of all, be kind.